I live in North Carolina, I've wanted to visit my sister who moved to New York, and somebody in Pennsylvania wants to buy my massive reptile enclosure that I'm selling. Also, I've kind of just wanted to get out of the house, so I figured I could knock out all 4 things at once. The enclosure is 350 pounds, 8 by 4 by 4 feet, made from 20 pieces of PVC and 50 square feet of glass, so I have to build a cargo solution that I can tow with my standard range Model 3 through 6 states, 3 of which I've never visited before. After delivery in Pennsylvania, I can then drive east to visit New York City for the first time, see my sister, and drive back home. I also kind of have a deadline and a budget. This means we're gonna have some jerry rigging, some car camping, and hopefully a plan that I actually stick to. This very old farm trailer I got off Craigslist is easily the best purchase I've made in a very long time. I've had it for a few years now, and I have done countless projects and just kind of everything with it. It's been so much better than U-Hauls and renting vehicles or having to borrow a car or whatever, or a truck. However, I do not trust this thing on a 1,500 mile round trip. The side reflector is gone. This side reflector is broken and also no longer lights up. I don't want it to be doing this for 1,500 miles. These tires, I've never replaced them. The tread looks okay-ish. Oh, no it doesn't. It's completely smooth. And also, I'm sure I'm gonna end up like with a hole in the tire, so I'm gonna buy a spare wheel. Also, the wiring kit on it, the ground wire ripped off. I'm gonna try and solder it. I was melting plastic with it, so there's a bunch of burnt plastic coming off. I'm terrible at soldering, so don't duplicate what I'm doing probably. But I'm gonna first just clean it off. Nice fresh wires. Unfortunately, they're not so fresh on the other side, but whatever. Okay, this is gonna be hard with one hand, but let's see what we can do. So I'm not really going for a perfect connection. I just need them to stay together. I'm doing a terrible job. Oh, all right, we got some. Okay, it looks like we're actually good. Oh. So this tire looks pretty normal, right? But looking at it from this angle, you can actually see it's got like a camber to it. I mean, it looks like a few pieces are bent. Like that's bent down. I wonder how that happened. Yeah, I think what I'm gonna do is just buy 2 brand new whole wheels, because then I'll have these 2 as spares that I can just swap out, that I can just always keep in the trailer. But I tightened this up. I think I'll add a screw here. It works for me. The one thing I can't figure out so far, this is what I'm moving, and these pieces take up the whole size of the trailer. I don't know, because apparently you're not supposed to transport glass when it's flat, because all of its strength is when it's on its edge.
So, what do you do?
Which I'm considering just risking it and just doing it flat with a lot of padding, but I'm not sure yet. So what I'm gonna do is clear it out and then go ahead and clean that up and put those in there, and it'll just be ready to go, and then we can figure out the glass later. So this is basically what I need to build, but the question is, how do I connect the A-frame to the trailer? I got 2 new tires from Harbor Freight, 40 bucks each. It kind of seems like a lot to spend just for this one delivery, but I made sure to only buy stuff that I'll use for other things. So I got 2 new ratchet straps, these are longer. I also got this to wrap the glass, and I didn't have the right piece to take these lug nuts off, so let's see if these fit. Oh my God, I bought the wrong size. They're both too big. It's so hard for me to size these. All right, I have to go return both of these. Okay, I got cookout, I returned the things. Here's attempt number 3 and 4. If one of these don't fit, then I'm just ending it all. All right. Oh, thank God, it's 21. Okay. Okay, 21 millimeters. If anyone for some reason needs this size, it's 21 millimeters. I'm gonna go eat. Oh, I also got replacement reflector for the other side. Oh no. Wait, why does this not fit this? It's the wrong one again. I forgot I have a 7. It's the wrong one. Again. I have to go to Home Depot. Again. These are a 1/2-inch drive and I have whatever the other one is. So before I go back to Home Depot, I'm gonna do a light test to make sure everything works and see if I need any other replacement pieces. I want this to be my last Home Depot run for the trailer. My soldering job holding in okay-ish. I don't know if that'll last, but whatever. Left is good. That one is broken, I guess. Wait, does this light up? I'm pretty sure this lights up. Okay, so this exterior part is cracked and then this light isn't working. Which, like, driving around NC, I don't care, but I imagine the more northern you go, the more strict they're gonna be about laws like that. Like, trailers around here don't even have registration. Wait, why did it just stop working? Is it because I pulled it by accident to the side? Alright, I brought the trailer not only so I could pick up the wood, but I realized I can also make sure it's the right size. Alright, we're good. It fits. And this should be everything we need to build the glass holder. Oh, I probably should have loosened these before. So apparently trailer wheels are supposed to be about 100 pound-feet of torque. This feels like 10. Like, it's taking no effort to take these off. I don't even have to push, I just like touch it basically. So I don't know if this is wrong or if I'm wrong. Quick uneducated inspection. It spins, that's pretty cool. So it looks like it needs to be 80 pound-feet. Nice new tread, which will last approximately 1 week before it's destroyed. Here's the glass itself and all of its unbroken glory currently. So I wrapped it initially in acoustic foam because I thought I would just be bringing it locally and I was just gonna throw it in the trailer like this, but it will all be taken off and packed differently. So it is time to build the glass transport. This is the worst part. Like, yeah, I'm nervous about a few things on the trip. I've never driven this far in an electric car with a trailer in states I've never been before, and also I've never done it with glass. So I'm going to do everything I can to make the best glass holder that my little arms can muster. So on the sides, there's 3 metal support pieces, and then on the bottom there's 3, but they're further out. So I'm going to use all 3 side support pieces here, the center support piece on the base, which will go all the way across, and then the support piece in the center, which will go out. This is the first project where I actually care about the cuts being straight, because it'll make things a lot easier. I'm normally lazy and just eyeball it. for a different project, so there's gonna just be a bunch of holes in this by the end as I cycle through different projects with the trailer. But I guess whenever that happens, I'll just replace everything. What a shame, I'd have to rebuild the trailer again. Oh, I won't be able to tell if it's level because the trailer's at an angle. I'm curious if the car will drive itself off of this. Oh. Hey, I'm so lazy. Two pieces are on, so now we can see how high the glass is gonna be. It'll be up to here, which is actually taller than the car, which is kind of funny. All three pieces are done. They're extremely sturdy. Like, I can put all my weight on these and they're good, so I don't have to worry about that. The next order of business is making a slight slant, and then I'll use extra 2x4s. This is not a 2x4, but it's just for testing purposes. And then it can go up against like this. Oh. And now we can try and lift it back up. All right, that's actually really good at that. That's like a perfect use for it. So it's currently 5:17. I need to wait for Home Depot to open and get a few more pieces. They open in 45 minutes. Oh, I need some brackets for that, and I need some extra wood. So I'm trying to decide if I should ratchet strap the glass and sandwich it, or just ratchet strap it, because I could make a sandwich with wood. I'm just gonna start actually prepping the glass itself. One of the things that sucks about this trailer is it is not compatible with a jack. I don't know what it's called. With one of those things that you like, and then it hits the ground with a little wheel and you can roll it around. This is not compatible with it. But I think using these holes, we can make one. Okay, so now let's say I need to charge the car and park the trailer or something. I can move the trailer when it's empty by myself, but it's probably too heavy with this. So we just, and then pop it on the wood. Up we go. And obviously it's on here, but I think I could just roll it around with this, or at the very least hold it up, put a jack stand underneath it, and leave it in a parking spot for it to easily hook back on, because I will have to stop. I'm guessing every 100 miles to charge. On the way there, at least. On the way back, hopefully not as many. Okay, I think this was the last Home Depot trip. I think. So right now the car claims to have 150 miles of range. However, based on my last 5 miles of driving, which is with the trailer, which is empty, I actually have a projected range of 97 miles. All right, let's test out my attempt at a third wheel. Okay, it lifts right off, but can we roll it? Oh, look at this. This isn't too bad. And I'm doing it with one hand. All right, this was actually like mega brain right here. The nice thing is stuff like this can be reused. Like I've reused the same screws on multiple projects, but this will all be used after and taken apart. I might even keep up some of this for transporting future stuff, since a lot of stuff that I move around could use extra support, which I just never bothered setting up. I believe my support for the glass is complete, aside from however I'm actually gonna hold it on there, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it, AKA right now, because that's the next step. I'm getting pretty confident. This is going together well. Next up, I'm gonna go ahead and drill holes in this bar, which will be the support piece across. So I picked up the car from service. I've already had quite a few suspension related parts replaced, so I was like, what could possibly go wrong this time? It was $800. I don't even know what it was, but I had no choice but to pay it. Now the car is here. It still says it's in service because I picked it up after hours, but they forgot to take it out of service mode, so I can't even control the car, which is great. Anyway, it's time to mount the first piece of glass. Piece number 1 is going on. It's not perfectly flat. I don't know if that's a problem or not. Now I've got to prep the second piece. The thing is, I don't know if I should put padding in between the two or if they should just be touching. I guess I'll put a little bit of padding in between. So here's where I have to be careful, is tightening it. So hopefully you get the whole idea of how it's going together. I mean, it's pretty much done actually. I'm gonna just barely tighten it. Because if I over tighten in the slightest, I think it'll break. All right. I'd rather it be a little too loose and bounce around than too tight, I think. Because if it seems too loose, I can always tighten it. That's pretty dang good. If this breaks, I'm gonna be so sad. I added the bottom support piece. It's the same idea, just a thinner piece of wood because I ran out. And this will protect it from any debris, like a rock flying out of a semi truck or something, because that would suck. With this stuff out of the way, the rest should be easy. When I'm ready to go, I just have to wash off all the PVC. I mean, I don't have to, but I'll rinse it all off. At least it doesn't hang over too far. But this thing is flippin' sturdy. And it wasn't that expensive either. Some of the tools, like these things, why did I not buy these sooner? They were $10 and they're such a lifesaver with like screwing wood together. Here are the emergency tools I'm bringing. Now normally when I go on a trip, I don't prepare at all, but this is pretty different, so I'm going overboard. I think this is everything I'll need in the case of an emergency. Extension cord, I use this at Airbnbs. I usually run it through the window to charge the car at night. I know some parts like a saw seem a little ridiculous, maybe it is. However, I am including every screw, nut, bolt, and hinge, like an extra piece, kind of like a Lego set, in case something falls off or needs to be replaced. So this should have me set. And for the first time ever, I have used all of the lumber that I have. This is the last piece of wood on my entire property that's not being used because I was able to use all the scraps for like everything. So I'm completely scrap free. And just because I think it's funny, I'm gonna bring this with me. Because I bet you that's gonna save the whole trip. That's my foreshadowing. I don't know if it's true though, it hasn't happened yet. Well, we did it, Reddit. It's all packed. I will admit doing this by myself was a little difficult. I'm glad I added those pieces to keep this separate from the glass so it doesn't like, is that too much tension on there? That's actually making me nervous. I think it's okay, but I'm gonna double check that. Because if that pushes forward into the glass, then we're doomed. And now I can work on plenty of other stuff I have to do. I'm gonna guess I'm gonna realize 5 things that I forgot. So I'll keep you up. Oh, an extra piece of wood. All right, this is the last piece of scrap wood. I'm not gonna bring that one. And that's why the trip's gonna go wrong. Because I always overestimate how much energy I have, I always get so tired, and always at least once I need a nap, and I'm planning on sleeping in the car one night, the first night. So I made some Walmart construction paper privacy windows. It's very reflective. Yeah, I've slept in the car before, and a couple times I put paper up, but it was like kind of see-through. A couple times I've literally just had it clear, so who knows how many people just were watching me snooze. But this time I'm going all the way. It looks pretty cool. It looks like a 0% tint. I wish I could have it like that all the time. Let's get in, shall we? And then from the inside, nice and dark. And then also, of course, the back. I'm gonna cover this part too. But I'm not really worried about the top part, it's good enough. So let's give it a quick test run. I put some bedding inside. Close the door. Ow, my back. Oh, I just pulled my back. All right, well, I'm gonna get in through the door next time. I don't know why I'm doing this way. And aside from the front, this is really dang cozy, actually. Let's lie down. Ow, this hook just went up. All right. Now, yes, the charging is going to be a pain. However, at least we have camp mode, which keeps the car at whatever temperature I desire and brings warm, fresh air in all night. And you can turn off the fire. I just think it's kind of funny. One of the things I like about sleeping in the back of a car versus like in a trailer RV is you can just get straight in the driver's seat and leave. So I've had times where I feel uncomfortable in an area or like someone's bothering me at my window. I can literally just hop in the seat and drive versus having to get out of the trailer, go to the car, and then like I'm in my own little house basically, and I don't have to leave. And with this progress, I shall see you tomorrow, which might be a separate video. I don't know. Is the video ending? If things just popped up, then yes, the video will also be up tomorrow. Or if you're watching this in the future, it's right here. Or you can watch the previous vlogs here.